Hey Libras, welcome back to Deku Tarot. Welcome to your December 2020 reading. Real quick here, if you want to book a private reading, all the information is below in the description box. And if you haven't, do make sure to subscribe and check out the readings for your other placements. All right, now that that's out of the way, let's get right into it here. You guys are anxious as hell. I can feel that. Wow. I thought the Taurus energy was, you know, confused and emotional and not calm at all, but you are also in that boat, right? And wow, maybe let's just try to blame it on Venus and Scorpio. That's not really comfortable for you. It's not comfortable for Venus ruled Taurus either, but at the same time, for Taurus at least, it's in the 6th house of relationships. You know, it's a little bit, we get Scorpios more than you guys. This is too much. Okay. Yeah. So our decision making is a little bit off right now. The way we're feeling is a little bit intense, all over the place, very deep. Your emotions are, they're rocking the boat. Let's just say that. They're skewing your perception of how you usually are able to perceive and then communicate things. Oh, sorry, I just knocked one off the deck here. And so, sorry about that. Anyways, it's very interesting to see these two cards together, right? Because Justice is your card, it's upright. But the Queen of Swords is also a card that I really associate with you guys and that most people do who read the tarot. And it's like seeing two sides of yourself right here, where we will be able to speak our minds clearly. We will be able to talk about the thing that we need to talk about later on in the month. Maybe after the eclipse, we have the conjunctions and we have everything, you know, Venus moving into Sag. It will be easier to communicate these things then, because right now we're feeling off. And the Justice card says there's two sides of you to this month here. Do we want to give in to this side? Probably not. Okay? Because it's going to be difficult to pin down what exactly you want to say until the energy gets a little clearer. Because right now it feels frustrating, angry, just like you're not being your usual socially diplomatic self. We could end up saying things, doing things that really end up doing stuff like this. And we don't want that. This one came up neither upright nor reversed, so I'm going to take it and just do it that way as well. But the Lovers and the Ten of Swords. Don't make the wrong choices. You have a choice here. Remember that. Be diplomatic. Try to observe. Another energy that I associate with Justice, and I feel like I've talked about this in past readings, especially when I was doing dailies for quite a while, but Justice is often a card of observation for me. It's not a card of action. It's not a card of doing things. It's observe the situation, observe how others are acting, observe whatever you think is going on, whatever issues you think are happening, because a couple other cards came out with this, and it does seem like you think something's going on here. We'll see where, but you're feeling something and your vibe is probably not off, but the way you approach this will be off until you get to a better moment in terms of astrology. And you're not there yet. We're not there yet. This is still the beginning of December when I'm doing this. I just had to put off the readings for a few days because I unfortunately had to work Black Friday with the public, and that was fun. It was not fun, but anyways, the Lovers and Ten of Swords here, don't choose to put yourself in this position, because you can very easily this month with a relationship, a friendship, a work situation, but you might want to see how this plays out first, right? Give yourself room to have these emotions, because again, you're feeling, Jesus Christ, that card like went flying. I hope that it was caught on camera a little bit, because Jesus. Yeah, wow, okay. It's more about what people aren't saying this month that is leading you to believe that something is off. It's the lack of communication. It's the lack of clarity. It's the lack of direct communications. And I haven't even mentioned, I was trying to mention this at the beginning, but your energy was just so all over the place. I just wanted to address that first. This month I'm doing this thing with all of the videos where I listen to a song for you guys before I even start the reading, and I pull some cards and really get into your energy. And I have that video, that playlist over on Spotify, so you can check that out. I'm going to link it probably in the description box and comments, as well as over on Instagram. So your song was Two-Way Monologue by Sandre Lerche, classic favorite song of mine, but it just felt right, and now I'm kind of seeing why. We need to have a two-way monologue. If you're the only one talking this month, if you're the only one communicating, it's not going to go well. It's not going to go well. What do I mean by that? I think the Ten of Swords was very clear, but communicating, there we go. All right. Communicating before the right moment this month will lead you here. We don't want that. We don't want to come across as a bad person, as someone that's selfish, greedy, whatever, because you're not. That's so clear in this. You're not any of these things that you will appear as if you jump to conclusions, if you jump at people, if you say off the cuff, remarks that are very harsh, or make sudden, accusations, especially on people. Don't accuse people of anything this month. Don't assume the worst, and try to say things in a kinder, lighter voice. All right, because you're not on your game. Empress reverse, we're a Venus. I mean, I am also, Venus ruled as well. So I get the Venus, when the Venus is not where it should be, it's very uncomfortable for a Venus ruled sign. Thankfully, I mean, I'm okay with it being in Scorpio, but you guys are having it's difficult, it's painful, and it makes you not act the way that you usually act. Or really, you're looking to throw those swords right in, because you're assuming that somebody is doing this to you. And maybe they are. Maybe somebody is going behind your back. We're going to look at that, because there is some weird stuff going on here, but you can't attack it just because you feel it right now. You have to observe and watch this play out before you come at this without any evidence. It's almost like if you were to start a court case, you wouldn't just say, I feel like they murdered this person. All right, well, where's your evidence? We need that first, right? You need some evidence before you can make an accusation, have it actually go somewhere. So try to wait until things move into Aquarius. That's going to be a lot easier and better for you. I know it's going to be a little bit of a wait, but it's not going to be that long. When does Venus move into... I have my astrology notes here. Venus moves into Sagittarius at some point this month. I can't figure out where. But this is more, that'll be when you'll be able to at least communicate a little bit better, and that your emotions are going to stop being bah. When Venus moves into Sagittarius, that will get a little clearer. You'll be able to make moves, you'll be able to speak, you'll be able to push your way forward here. But when Venus is in Scorpio, you're just down the rabbit hole, feeling all these emotions and just trying to, find a light in the dark here and running into walls. And it's just not great. It's making you upset. It's making you angry. And it's bringing out your worst qualities in terms of communication. And they're not you. It's not your fault. You're not this person that people will pin you as if you act on these emotions this month. So wait. Two of Swords is a card about waiting, deciding, sitting on the fence. Because we don't have all the answers right now. We don't know which way is the best way. We don't really know what's going on. But when things move into Aquarius, on the, I think it's the 17th? 17th and 19th is when Saturn and Jupiter both move into Aquarius. And we also have the Mercury Cazimi. And that's going to be a moment, a light bulb moment where, okay, I know what I need to do now. I know where I'm going. It's where we're changing, what we're changing, and we're being guided by the clarity that we're receiving and understanding at this moment, that we're processing. So wait for then. Things will get clear. And also, again, obviously, we have the Great Conjunction happening on the 20th, 21st, 19th. I don't know. It's around there. I think it kind of, because there's such huge planets, it kind of lasts a few days. But again, you can correct me in the comments if I'm wrong about the dates. I think I have it written down here as the 21st. But yeah, that will be a huge shift. And for you guys, having it in both in Aquarius, it's going to be so much more enlightening. You'll be able to do what's best for you, and you'll be able to tackle these bigger questions that life is throwing at you right now. Like, what is this? What's going on here? Because I'm seeing something going on here and it's affecting my emotions. People talking behind your back, doing something behind your back. There is suspicion. When you get, he for me is my card of suspicion. And when I get the Knight of Swords as well, that suspicion has grown because maybe we've heard something, seen something, or a lack thereof is really what is pushing us to believe that there's something off. What am I not getting that's making me feel like this situation is off, that what they're saying isn't true? But again, your emotions are going to go on a downward spiral if you start thinking that. But you've got to keep your cards close to your chest right now, okay? Keep it close to the chest. Keep it in your pocket. Oh, okay. I don't know why your cards are jumping so far from where they need to be, but they are. And if you were wondering, by the way, this is the Aquarian Tarot, because I know that people often ask me in the comments, and I forgot to mention. Let's take a look here. Ooh, okay. 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 You have to talk about what you really want in terms of relationship. But first, you've got to decide what that is. And be open and be willing to finally talk about it. Because, you know, maybe the suspicion does have to do with relationships. It might also have to do, I feel like, with work, with the Three of Pentacles coming out. But I was trying to focus more on relationships on these cards that I was pulling. So I'm going to go with that right now. Are you looking to settle down? Are you looking to build a lifelong thing here? And do you want to start that right now? Are you ready for that? You might be asked these questions very soon. Or you might need to get really honest with yourself about what it is that you want and that you need and what you're really ready for right now. Because that's coming up here. And again, once you find your voice and you're able to speak in that Libran way where you can say what needs to be said, maybe even if it's like extremely harsh coming from other sides, it will still sound better coming from you because you guys are like kind of the social diplomats. I feel like I talk about that often. You're able to bring understanding, light, and peace through conversation, through diplomatic conversations in a way that not a lot of other signs can handle. You're able to put the relationship in equal footing before everything else. But it's time for you to focus that on yourself. And with Death and the Ten of Rods, I feel like when you finally work through all this emotional haze, let me just get a sip of water, hold on. Sorry. And that's some moon charge water that I have from the Taurus full moon, Scorpio new moon. So when you finally find that voice, when things, you know, after the 14th, really after that eclipse, after things move into Aquarius, sorry, I think I'm going to sneeze. No, we're good. Anyways, after that point, your voice will return and it will, again, you'll be able to communicate in the way that you're known to communicate it, in the way that is, again, diplomatic, the way that's going to get your point across without hurting people really harshly, or, you know, ending something just because you asked about it, but you think you were like, oh, I was just asking about it. I was just confronting this. Well, how were you confronting it? Because that has a lot to do with what happens here. That's a lot to do with, you know, the consequences of the situation. So be aware that if you want to talk about something like about all these rolling feelings and suspicions and stuff like that, that you might come across very harshly, and you need to understand what the consequences are in terms of having that conversation and making this move before the right time. Are you ready for that? Are you prepared, like I said, for the conversation that is maybe either being asked of you or that you are wanting to have this month? You've got to get clear on what it is that you want and what it is that you need. And for some of you, it's that you've carried this burden too long and it's time to end. You want a new beginning. I don't want to carry your weight anymore. I don't want to feel like I'm burdened by all of this, by all of what you want, by all of what you need, and whatever it is that you're not telling me, not being honest, not being upfront about, because there is a part of you that believes that about somebody very close to you, either in a relationship or something, or work. But Four of Swords reversed, Ace of Swords, Nine of Wands reversed. You're not going to want to fight for something anymore. It's like there's been an itching. There's like this scratch that needs to be itched in your life. And you will be able to put words to that very clearly. Again, more towards the end of the month, mid to the end of the month. But it's such an opening experience. Sometimes I see the Nine of Wands as barriers down. We don't have these barriers up that are keeping others out. We're being clear, we're being succinct, and we're finally ready to stop being on the edge. You know, again, Nine of Wands is reversed with the Ten of Wands reversed as well. This is quite a dropping of, you know, not just our barriers, but whatever we're carrying behind that. And finally speaking our truth, making a decision, a very clear decision about what it is that we need to communicate right now in terms of ooh, okay. In terms of what it is we're not happy about and yet we feel we have to fight to get, especially within a relationship. Does it feel sometimes that you have to fight to get something that isn't even satisfying? I'm holding out for this cup and this is what you're offering me, but I'm just fighting for something that is not even giving me anything anyways. It's finally talking about where you felt like you've had to fight in this relationship, where you feel like you've had to come up against your own values, your own principles to make somebody else happy, and then still be stuck in this Four of Cups position. Well, this is an emotional release here when I get the Four of Cups reversed. We're done sitting there and doing nothing about it. We're going to start letting go of the dissatisfaction that we feel and start, you know, trying to work through this, to heal, to understand where it is that we do need to heal because of what's coming up now, because of what we need to talk about. And again, I just feel, don't let your need to stay comfortable get in the way. Oh, this is not the card I just picked, but I guess he's here, so we're going to take him. I thought this was the King of Pentacles reversed. Don't let our need for comfort, money, stability, physically around us, even good sex, get in the way of what we really need and what we're really able to get. Because if you are leaving something behind that you're like, but this has been so great, what else is out there? There will always be better out there. Even if you're considering that, then you should recognize that that is what you need. And that need isn't going to go away until you go out and really evaluate and explore that. Love is not going to get less just because you leave one situation that was pretty good. Or maybe really good. If it's time to go, it's time to go. And that travel partner has worn out, you know, maybe you guys have traveled everywhere you need to go in this lifetime together, and it's time to part ways and seek out somebody else. And that's okay. If what you desire out of life, if where your life paths are going are not on the same trajectory, it's okay to realize that you can have more and that you can still do that. And you can actually do whatever you want with this situation. Honestly, when the Magician shows up, it's really all about what you want to do. Know that you can do any of these options, but you have to believe and see that you can. And there might be a moment this month that shows you that you can do that. That shows you what you're really capable of and what you've really held yourself to instead. There will be an eye-opening moment about what it is that limits you from pushing forward and living the life that you want, from having the relationship that you want, from having the career that you want. What do you believe your worth is? Very much like Taurus, actually. In that kind of sense of what is your worth, define that and decide what it is that you value, that you want, and what your worth is. And are you accepting less than that at this time? And why are you so afraid of going for more? Because when you do go for more, when you do decide to confront the elephant in the room, when you decide to do something about the codependence, the toxic relationships to either work relationship, whatever it might be, you put yourself in a position where you're in control. And by that Cancer full moon, is it a Cancer full moon? Yes, it's a Cancer full moon. I was like, is that a full moon? A full moon in Cancer at the very end of the month on the 29th. You will know what you need, and you will be putting those things first, and you will be driving forward on a path that's set for you. So look inside and see if your emotions are all over the place because of all these other people in your life, because of all these toxic relationships and things that you just are trying so hard to keep equal, keep, on a certain level in your life, keep around you. Why are you doing that? What does it really give you? And what could you be going for? The Chariot always says, bring what you might want something, but are you acting and putting out the energy that's going to bring that to you? Or are you staying where you are and accepting these things, continuing to fix other people's problems, continuing to live a burdened life that you don't want to be living, doing things you don't want to be doing, dealing with people you don't want to be dealing with and that you don't even trust? It's time for you to stop feeling bad for what it is that you want and just do it for yourself, because again, we have one life to live. So have that two-way monologue. Speak your truth, but wait for the right time. Wait for the right time. I'm going to say it one more time. Wait for the right time, and do not let your emotions get the best of you before then. Because again, if they do, you could end something much quicker than you needed to and in a much meaner way, and you don't want to come across as that person, because there's a better way to go about this. There's a much better way to go about this, and you won't be able to see it until later in the month. If you're dealing with an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, you might find something very big out about them as well. The situations that you've been wondering about will be revealed. What's been going on behind your back, the secrets, and again, whatever it is that needs to be done, needs to be said, and how it needs to be said and addressed will all become very, very clear. But we must wait. I don't think there's going to be another card out here. Is that it? I guess so. Again, you have to decide where you're at in terms of your relationships. I don't really want to get into this too much deeper because I feel like we covered this, but it is kind of a hard few cards to have come out at the end. Ten of Cups reverse, 5 of Swords reverse, and then Temperance. You might feel there's been a major loss of a love, a situation that you really cared about, a situation that might feel like a family, whatever it might be. But you have learned a lot from this situation. Take what you can and take what you have learned. Take what you've learned about yourself and what you're willing to allow to happen in the future and move on. You'll be okay. Temperance will have you shooting your arrows towards the goals, towards the goals and the places that you really do want to be going and that you've been compromising on. Get clear about that. Until Venus moves out of Scorpio, I recommend writing all your feelings and all these things down in a journal so that you're not coming at people constantly, and you're not giving into this anger and this frustration and just absolutely losing it, because you want to reach people with your words at some point, right? Even if it is just to tell them how much they've hurt you. Even if it is when that ex comes back that, you know, they want to come back and talk and do all this stuff, you can respond. Just don't get waist deep in the shit. Don't get waist deep in this toxic, awful energy, because it will just be a loss for you. Oh, great, you're back to tell me what? About this betrayal, of this friendship, of this relationship, of all this. What do you want? Okay, I'm all ears. Cool. All right, well, you hurt me, and these are the things I have to say to you, and now bye. Okay? And you'll be able to say it in the right way rather than like an absolute horror show. Again, if you wait. Waiting is the name of the game, because you need to have a two-way monologue instead of you screaming at somebody and coming off as somebody that you are absolutely not and that you don't mean to be. Okay? I love you guys. Let's pull an oracle. And if you want to book a private reading, all the info's below. Do make sure to subscribe. Check out Truly Divine. You can use my code Deku30 for 30% off, and you can use that as many times as you want for birth chart analysis, compatibility analysis, numerology analysis. Okay. Ooh, wow. You actually got the same thing as Taurus. Interesting. Force. I don't know, Venus ruled signs are doing something. Force lives in your will and comes from your intent. Life is a process of pulling back your bow, aiming your arrow, choosing a target, and shooting. The degree and quality of the force with which you choose your target and shoot determine your power and your success. Force is built through the integrity of purpose, your physical tuning, and your balance of spirit and mind. By naming your act of power, you can create force. Follow your innermost passions in life. Empower your will and your strength of force by manifesting your secret dreams. Forces. All right. I love you guys so much. Have a wonderful and blessed December. I'll see you in 2021. Follow me over on Instagram and check out the music playlist from Spotify. I'll link that below in the comments and description box. Have some fun with it. Again, your song is Two-Way Monologue. Enjoy. Love you so much. Namaste.